Good morning, Maya Barback. Here's the plan. More on the stairs. There may even be a return of the hard hat dummy to talk about stairs, although it will be to a very limited extent. Don't have high expectations. The walls will continue to get attention, probably more on the top beam on the south wall, and the columns inside the house will continue to get work. What could possibly go wrong? First things first, before anything else today, I want to just say happy birthday to Alex. Oldest son Alex over in Hong Kong is 29 today. So Alex, have a great day today. If you're watching this today, you're mad. Do it another time, but at least the message is there when you do, if you ever do get around to watching this. Have a great day, kid. Love you. Bye. Well, we'll start this morning with the south wall, where, as I said, tie beam's getting more attention. And I was right yesterday. They have made the tie beam higher than they previously had, which I'm happy with. Apparently the options were either to put an additional half level of concrete hollow block or just have a higher tie beam. Now, I don't know if there's any downsides to higher tie beams. Anybody got any thoughts on that? For me, it looks fine. I'd be happy with what they've done. Upstairs, quite a few guys still working on columns up there, but we also have Webb and maybe some others are starting to put these cross beams in place. That's something I hadn't spotted yesterday. I don't know if that's all this morning. Maybe some of that was done last night. But a lot of guys up there. Yep, it's the return of the hard hat dummy. Where are you going? Stop switching off, stop fast forwarding. I'll keep it brief, and it will be very limited in terms of the information content. But here we go, stairs. So we'll start with some basic dimensions. Each stair will be a height of 16 centimeters, which I think is just over 6 inches, and it'll have a depth of 30 centimeters, 12 inches, quite nicely, 1 foot. And that means that, in effect, people of a slightly shorter stature should have no problem making the step up, and people with great big clod-hopping feet, including myself and son Jack, should have no problem placing said feet on the next step. When you get up to the platform, the landing, that'll be a total size of 220 centimeters by 110. I've forgotten the inches, I'll put it in afterwards, you'll see. Next, rebar. So the underlying rebar support is 16 millimeter, and you might be able to make out that on each set of stairs there are 7 of those, and they are continuous from down here at the bottom, extending across the platform to the far side, to the beam over there. So 7 of those at 16 millimeter. Right, multitasking engineer is helping me out here. So these are the rebar that basically form the shape of the stairs. These are 12 millimeter. So each step will have these in place. And then from side to side, if I can hold it steady enough, these are the cross beams, I think I saw them called the nose beams. These will be 10 millimeter rebar. And something my wife in particular was concerned about was the amount of light that we would get in here. So we've asked for a couple of things. Firstly, when you get up to the second floor, where you see that beam going across, that will basically be a window. And there will be a window on the exterior wall. Now that is kind of the walkway between the bedroom and the master closet. So we'll have to be a little bit careful walking around through there when it's all glass. But that'll let in light on this side. Hi Manny! I think Manny's our stair expert. We're also going to have this wall with quite a lot of glass in it up this side of the stairs. So that should allow plenty of light to come in here. We can't have glass on this side, because on this side we're going to have the theatre room, and that needs to basically be blacked out. So this will be a solid wall on this side. One thing I forgot on the platform, we talked about the fact that there are the 16mm rebar going up from here, going across to form a grid. There will be a series of 10mm rebar as well. So that's it. That's all I know. What do you builder types think? Good? Bad? Ordinary? What it should be? Something missing? Any thoughts? Please drop a comment in. Thank you. Just after the afternoon break, we're doing columns and tie beams. So here's the process. Not very complicated. Sorry about the change in the light. Hopefully this will come out. There you go. That's all there is to it. Well, along with hopefully making the concrete to roughly the right mixture. And this is looking from further towards the west. So we basically are up to height across the basketball court, and the tie beam is sitting up there waiting to be clad. And then beyond that, if I turn, the sun's going to get very bright. So I'm just going to go to here, and this clearly has a little bit higher to go. Right, if you can hear me over the music. In the comments, John Charville described this as the stairway to heaven. Sorry, John. Not for me, it isn't. Up we go. First thing to note, if you can make it out up here, is quite a lot of puddles of water. Clearly it is getting watered down. I watched them do it just before lunch, and it looks to me like they've been doing it more since. So, water being applied. Tick. Columns. We are not complete, but we have a lot of the columns now completed and unveiled. Still one right in front of us, one over there. Take your dizzy pills. One in that corner. Have I mentioned these already? Two here. So still a few, but we are getting close to having these columns done. We're looking at the sun here. I'm not sure how well this will come out, but we're also getting quite a lot more of these support tubes going into place across the back of the house, and a little bit, in fact, all the way down this side of the house. They have definitely been busy up here. Right, the engineer has just informed me that in fact these remaining columns, the two here and the others I showed you earlier, they have actually all been poured. So most likely tomorrow we will see all of these columns naked for the first time. And this is the first look down from above onto the stairs. So clearly they've turned the corner with the base form along with those little jaggedy edge side forms. We'll have a look from below, but you can also make out from here, hopefully, that we've got a lot of the rebar and the vertical forms have gone in on the first step, the first stage of those stairs. This is moving fast. Steps of death. You may no longer be required. Well, I'm sure you will be for quite a bit longer, but maybe not that long. Right, so this is looking at one step. I'm going to have to point here, but these are the 12mm rebar that were bent into shape. These are the 10mm rebar going straight across. And then down below in here are the 12mm rebar. So far, looks like all the steps have now had all the rebar put in place. They've all been tied in. And I forgot to mention we have this additional 10mm across the middle just for extra support. So effectively on each step there are 3 of those. One at the front, one in the middle, and one over there. And by the look of it, we're going to have mini monster forms before they pour the concrete into here. Still using the great big steel tube and the phenolic board. God, they really have moved fast. Just one more look here from a different angle. So again, we've got the base column, the support columns, looking pretty heavy duty monster forms in place again there, going across the top, and of course ditto on this side. Plus, at the moment, quite a lot of support in place underneath. I'm not sure if that's all of it. There'll be more to come. We shall see later. Last thing here, if you can see it, right up there near the top where Ronwell's bending that rebar into place. This is different on the second stage of the stairs. If you remember, on the first stage, the 16mm rebar goes all the way from the base right across to the tie beam just in front of me. Clearly here, where they're coming back down from the second stage, they will have to splice in a second rebar. But I'm not sure what their choices were there, other than to try and get more of a 9-meter long 16mm rebar and embed that first. I imagine this is still completely acceptable practice. Once again, builder types, let me know if you disagree. It's the end of the day. A day in which we seem to get a lot of progress with the stairs, with the columns upstairs, with the tubular steel support that they're putting in upstairs. It's not going to be a very long time before we start talking about roof beams. But today, a lot of the focus was on these stairs, at least my focus was on these stairs. Apologies for the return of the hard hat dummy. There was a comment yesterday, I think, from LC Gilbert, suggesting that a bit more detail might be of interest to some. So blame him. I can't begin to pretend that I understand any of the why of what they do here, but hopefully you at least got a sense of the what of some of what they're doing, what the materials they're using, that gives you some sense of how this staircase is being put together. So that's it. Day, what's that, 72? Again, felt like a really positive day today. And I know there shouldn't really be positive and negative days, but in my head, somehow, there are. Way, way more positive than... Negative's the wrong word, just flat. So that's it. Day 72, done. See you tomorrow.